GPT-5 was just launched in one of the most boring, sleepy demos from OpenAI I have seen in recent times. Anyway, ChatGPT-5 will become your default ChatGPT from now on, even if you're a free user. So, how is it better? Well, the first thing you'll probably notice is speed. This laptop has the previous model GPT 4.0 loaded up. This has GPT-5. How many rings does Saturn have? Go. Oh my god. GPT-5 took 3.1 seconds. This took 6.5. How many distinct iPhones has Apple made? Go. Oh goodness. 8.3 seconds versus 11.2 seconds. How many possible type combinations exist in Pokemon? Not far off. Actually quite far off. This has massively overcomplicated it. 5 seconds versus 11 seconds. So really, when you're asking light questions like this, GPT-5 is between 30% to 50% faster than the old model. But I wouldn't really say that speed was one of the key issues before. There's actually a much more important change happening this generation. If you're a big user of ChatGPT and you're paying the monthly subscription, it's actually been really confusing to use because you open up the app and you have options. You could pick GPT 4.0, O303 Pro, O4 Mini, O4 Mini High, and each one of these models is its own AI slightly better than the others at one thing or another. And there are even more when you click Expand. How on earth is any normal consumer supposed to decide which one to use for which question? I've always wondered if this AI is smart enough to be in the top 10% of test takers sitting the most grueling exams on the planet. Why can't it just know what's the best model for your specific question and make the choice for you? Well now, finally, GPT-5 can. This model effectively brings together all the different capabilities of the previously separated specialized models into one general model. If you ask it a question that requires no thinking, then, as we've seen it, we'll use a very light model that's even faster than the old one. But if you ask a heavier question that would benefit from more thinking, it can now do that thinking without you needing to select a mode designed for it. Let's try something complex. Make me a game of Tetris that I can play in Canvas. On GPT 4.0. Best model you'd have had without paying. We're approaching 200 lines of code here. That took 57 seconds. It's a very simple Tetris, the most basic possible form. But still, one sentence generated a game. On O4 Mini High, previously recommended for coding available only via subscription. This was significantly faster, 14 seconds. And the game was almost identical to GPT 4.0's just in a quarter of the time. On GPT-5, coding speed was slower than O4 Mini High but faster than GPT 4.0, 19 seconds. But it produced more lines of code and a more complex game with pieces with divides, a score display level tracking upcoming piece preview, and on-screen controls, all without being prompted. If you used ChatGPT in the past, you might remember that there were multiple models to choose from. You had your generalized models, reasoning models, and mini models. You had to guess which one was the best to use. Now GPT-5 automatically adjusts how deeply it thinks based on your question. If it's a quick request, it responds fast. If it's something more complex, it kicks you into deeper reasoning. You don't have to think about which one to use. Behind the scenes, GPT-5 is actually two different models, and it picks the right model or intent without needing to ask you. If you're a paid user, you still have the ability to choose GPT-5 Thinking Mode, which gives you extended reasoning power. OpenAI says GPT-5 outperforms the O3 reasoning model and GPT 4.5 on both reasoning and creativity. Personally, I thought both of those models worked very well, so that's quite the statement. They also say it's more reliable with fewer hallucinations. Accuracy and hallucinations. While coding is a niche need for most people, the real test of an AI model is accuracy. Hallucinations, those confident but completely wrong answers, have long been a sore spot. OpenAI claims GPT-5 reduces this problem through more powerful hardware to handle complex reasoning, integration of user feedback from earlier model generations, improved benchmarking to better spot and patch weaknesses. But in practice, the fix isn't complete. Take this prompt. Give me 10 tech products made by food brands that I can actually buy. GPT 4.0 dreamed up impossible items like the McDonald's XT mobile phone. GPT-5 did better, but still fumbled offering imaginary picks such as Oreo smart speakers. The result? Progress, but accuracy still isn't bulletproof. Pricing advantage over competitors. The biggest point about GPT-5 is this. The model is ridiculously cheaper when you compare it with its competitor. Let's say Claude 4.1 Opus. Claude 4.1 Opus was just launched a couple of days back. Nobody gave a hammer about it. But if you see the pricing comparison GPT-5, which is almost similar to Claude 4.1, Opus on a lot of benchmarks is just $10 per million tokens for output. On the contrary, if you see Claude Opus 4.1, the output is $75. You've got $10 and $75. Add that to the poor infrastructure that Anthropic has got, I think GPT-5 is already winning. There is no doubt about it. Coding performance benchmarks. One interesting benchmark, though. They claimed that they are the best coding model on the planet based on Bench Verified, which is a software engineering benchmark where you have to solve GitHub issues. OpenAI in this weird chart says they scored 74.9%, and Claude Opus 4.1 scored 74.5%. So, in terms of intelligence or coding capability, I don't think this model is way above Claude 4.1 Opus. But when you bring in the pricing factor, you can see that this model is good. Ada Polyglot, which is a popular benchmarking based on the Otter code editor. OpenAI has scored 88% on this particular benchmark. Agent use case. Benchmarks. Another very interesting benchmark I was looking forward to is called TOAO. TOAO. Bench measures the model's agent capabilities. GPT-5 scored 96% on telecom, 81% on retail, and 62% on airline. This is not too different from Anthropic. Anthropic scored 84% on retail, better than GPT-5. On airline, Anthropic, Claude Opus 4.1 scored 54%. Clearly, this is a good model for agent use cases. We also saw this in the Cursor demo, where it makes a lot of tool calls, and I think that's a good thing. There have been speculations that OpenAI might launch an AI device or a browser, so this entire thing could take us toward that direction. Multimodality and health benchmarks. GPT-5's multimodal chops are legit. It posted 84% on MMU, a strong signal it can reason across text, images, and other inputs, not just label them. In the launch demo, two focus areas stood out. 1. Developers. Rich UI generation. Code-aware reasoning and tool use. 2. Health. Workflows that would appeal to clinicians. Pharma and life science, R&D. On the medical side, GPT-5 hit 67% on health bench, a clear jump over a 3, suggesting better clinical reasoning, fewer unsafe slips, and stronger step-by-step guidance. In short, more capable across modalities and meaningfully safer and smarter for health use cases. If we talk about speed, the model is supposed to be very fast, but during the demo, we saw a couple of times on Cursor at least the model took a lot of time to think. That's because the model makes a lot of parallel tool calls. Go to the website, do this, do that, scrape. So it is doing a lot of things, and at the same time the model is supposed to be fast. I think combining that, the model has a decent speed overall. Overall, I think this is a great model, a great release. But nothing related to the hype they made, and it's nothing closer to AGI. You can't feel the AGI. Maybe it's only Ilya Sutskever who can feel it. Hit the subscribe and like button to get more AI breakdowns and updates. See you in the next video.